This video has been in the coming for a while because I get a lot of requests for this, and especially with the Shadashtak Yog, the Guru Chandal, the Shrapit, all of this is bringing about an energy of disruption and an energy that is aiding and abetting negative entities, negative thought. As I said, that the key about Guru Chandal Yoga is immorality. So when Masan Kriya is done, Masani or Masan Kriya is done, then the first thing we have to think of is that somebody wants to harm someone, which is again by itself an immoral act. So at this time, there is a sort of negative push that is letting people feel this quite heavily, and some people are motivated by love. They want to do masani prayog or vashikaran, and maybe the person they love is already married, so they go ahead and they do something incurring bad karma or vashikaran through curses. Uchatan, somebody loves, say a woman is in love with a man and the man is married. So in that case, the woman sends a masani kriya, which causes uchatan. That means vidveshan or uchatan. So the two people, the husband and wife that were together, they get separated either through ideology or whatever. Okay, now the thing here is that this masani prayog and the masani kriya is not only done in India, but these rituals have been adapted and are being used by many different systems. Okay, so in this video we are going to learn about masan. Lot of people are coming to me now saying that they are having these symptoms. So we are going to try to understand the symptoms. What happens when masan prayog is done, masani or masan prayog is done on someone? Okay, how do they react? How does their body react? How does their mind, soul, all of that? So we are going to get through that, and before anything, of course, let us take a moment to meditate on Kal Bhairav and Mahakali, because Masanis are like yoginis of Mahakali, Smashan Kali. So it is said that people who are devotees of Mahakali, Masani cannot come to them. But oftentimes we see that and masans and masanis live all over. So they are not only confined or restricted to the geography of India. Alright, and like I said, that this masan and masani kriya has been taken, interpreted and given different names in different systems, like hoodoo, like any kind of black magic work. Okay, even in Romania, this masani vidya is used. It is not exclusive to India. It is not exclusive to our country only. It is masan and masani black magic can be done on anybody, anywhere. And like I said, the different sorcerers, shamans and different people have learned masani kriya from tantrics, because there was an open form of exchange of spiritual information. And like I said, that Sanatan Dharma is eternal and was the core dharma of this Manvantara, which is why it was practiced everywhere before the other religions came into power. So we have to understand that this is not blind superstition, and if you go to Delhi, if you go to Gurgaon and visit the Masani Mata temple, you'll see that the amount of devotees that come there, it's stupendous. And once masani chowki is put on someone, then the tod of that cannot be done by just about anyone. And some people say that, if tamasic magic has been done in you, then go to a tamasic practitioner, a sorcerer, or a witch who will remove the tamasic effect. You kill poison with poison, but don't get into all that. In fact, the only way to target tamasic energies is satwik. This is the only way. So if you do not find someone satwik to guide you on the path of all this kind of jadoo, tona, black magic, masan prayog, then you will not be able to come out of it. Because if somebody is taking money and doing black magic or tamasic rituals on other people, then what stops them tomorrow from doing the same thing to you? And the masani prayog is indeed, once it is done, it is very, very difficult to revert. So it is not something to play with. It is not something to be interested in. A lot of people ask me that, what is smashan jagana or masan jagana, and can I do it? But then why do you want to do that? Right? There are other energies. Bhairav has his ganas, and Ganpati has all his ganas, and all of these, the dark magic is done only in masan or smashan, these masani vidyas. But nowadays I see that there is an inherent, because it's Kali Yuga, there is more of the need to do bhoot, pret, yakshani, jinn, all this kind of sadhana. People are more interested in this. Okay, there are YouTube channels with like millions of subscribers who are teaching you black magic. So the thing is that you don't need to be interested in this, because you can achieve siddhi through Ganpati. You can achieve siddhi through Bhairav, through Devi. So you don't need to go into masani prayogs or veer sadhana or jinn sadhana or pret sadhana. You don't need to be interested. And I see that a vast majority of the population is interested in all of this more than Devi Devta sadhana. And this again is a sign of Kali Yuga. So it is also said that in times of Kali Yuga, the masani vidyas will awaken. So the masani vidyas will start integrating themselves with the living, and this is not a good thing, because all spirits are not good spirits. Like all jinns are not bad, or all prets are not bad, but why take the risk? Why take the chance of getting into something like that? However, if you are one such person who believes that a masan prayog has been done on you, and these are prakriyas, you see, kriyas, or like whole rituals that are done. But again, many people come to me saying, black magic has been done to me, or this prakriya has been done, or jadoo tona has been done, or kupak has been done, or kiya karaya has been done. A lot of people come and tell me. Now I'll tell you one thing, that out of all those cases, possibly only 5% is legit. Otherwise, they have some other kind of mental disease or physical disease, or something, and that has no relation to black magic. So oftentimes people are tricking themselves into believing that black magic has been done on them, when actually nothing like that has been done. So diagnostics, or prognosis as we call it, it is the work of someone experienced who can help you do this. And like I said, don't try to cut black magic with black magic. It just doesn't work. Satwik person, a satwik tantric, or a satwik magician can help you through Devi or Devata. And like I said, masani prayog is very powerful, because she is an ang of Ma Smashan Kali. So how will you do Tod of mahakali? You have to have Bhairav Siddh. If you don't have Bhairav Siddh, then you cannot break masan. So And after many people do Bhairav workshop with me, and you see how many steps there are to Bhairav, and how you have to go step by step by step by step to come into the vicinity. And I don't mean Savari of Bhairav also. I mean like Savari means when Bhairav takes over, right? That happens to deep, deep practitioners. That happens, Savari. But I'm talking about just kripa of Bhairav. Kripa of Bhairav, why? Because Bhairav is the child of Mata Smashan Kali. He is the one who carries the khappad. Alright, when Langar Veer goes announcing that Shakti is coming, Shakti is coming, it is Bhairav who carries the kapal. And then the 64 yoginis come behind Bhairav. And they, Bhairav is Kilkar. He does Kilkar, it's Kilkar Bhairav. So he screams. What in Bengali we say Artonad. That means a primeval scream. That's why Kilkar Bhairav is one very important form of Bhairav. Yoginis are doing Kilkar as well, screaming for the meat of the demons. And then Bhairav destroys the demons and fills up the khappar for his Mata Smashan Kali and gives all the mass, which is the meat of the demons, to the yoginis. So as I was saying that Bhairav must, if you feel like masani work has been done on you, or any kind of curse in hoodoo or any other black magic, Romanian black magic, Islamic black magic, massive amounts, even Christian black magic exists. So Buddhist black magic, Vajrayan black magic. So remember that if you are someone and you think that you have masani vidya prayog on you, the first thing to do is get a clear diagnosis, and make sure that the prognosis is correct, right? So you have to go to a satwik person, not somebody. You can't cut a black magic curse with a black magic curse. It doesn't work. So honestly, believe me that out of many of the cases that I've been handling over my 2.5 decades of work in this field, I will tell you one thing, that life becomes a living hell for the person who is experiencing this. And oftentimes it is women with undiagnosed medical conditions like pain or even inability to conceive, because Kok Bandhan is a Maran Prayog that is done with Masani Vidya. Kok Bandhan means tying the womb. So, incessant abortions, miscarriages, not abortions because abortions are voluntary, but I mean involuntary miscarriages, right? Inability to conceive a healthy child, stuff like this. This also shows that some Kiya Karaya or black magic has been done on you. And like I said, that if we believe in Bhairav, we have to also believe that Bhairav has a polarity, and that polarity is as powerful as Bhairav, the light polarity, right? So recently a theory has been circulating over social media with regards to Star Wars, that in fact Grogu, or Baby Yoda as a lot of you will know, Grogu was born at the same time as Anakin Skywalker, and the Force creates an equal balance of good and evil. So here we see that Grogu did not go to the dark side. Grogu stood his ground and fought with the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, and became a warrior of the light. And at that very same time of his birth, Anakin Skywalker was also born, who we later realize is none other than Luke Skywalker's father, Darth Vader. So here we see that the force or the divine energies that manifest in darkness and light, like the electron and the proton. That doesn't mean that the electron is negative, because electron is the one that creates everything, right? Proton is Vishnu that balances everything. So this light and darkness, they exist. If Kali's energy can be used for the greatest satwik work in this world, Kali's energy can also be used by a black magician for the darkest of deeds. Incomprehensible, insidious. So this is something that we have to understand, that as the Force creates Anakin Skywalker, the Force also creates Grogu. As there is Kungs and all other demons, Hiranyakshipu and all the other, there is also the light, there is Krishna, there is Prahlad, as there is Duryodhan, there is Yudhishthir. So these energies, Tantra is not black or white. Tantra is power. Tantra is Shakti Upasana. Now what you do with that Shakti, what you do when that power is awakened in each atom of your body is entirely up to you. So this is why black magic is as real as white magic. If I can do pujas for you to lead a better life, to have more fulfilling relationships with your family, to fall in love, there is somebody else out there, and dark magician who is doing the very opposite, right? Like the God and the devil. So polarities exist in this world. It is our task to transmigrate from this realm of polarity. That's why we have to face it. Simple, we have to face the polarity. There is no escaping it. There should only be acceptance that yes, as there is light magic, as there is satwik magic, there is tamasic magic. There are people with good intentions and there are people with bad intentions, right? So, and they're inseparable, honestly. This interplay between light and darkness, the shadow and the light, this interplay is forever intertwined in the quantum foam, in the very fabric, in the very quantum foam of reality as we experience it. So it's not mere superstition. Like, some people may think that puja is superstition, Tantra is superstition, Ganpati is superstition, doing mantras is superstition. Heck, some people think even yoga is superstition. Some evangelical teachers teach that yoga is the work of the devil. Mantras are the work of the devil. So, do you see how the story, the narrative can change very quickly? So, here we have to realize that this is not just mundane superstition, but this is reality. The polarity exists. If there is God, there is anti-God, right? If there is a particle, there is an anti-particle. So this we have to understand. And honestly, if you ask me, how much do we know? We talk about science and we talk about, empirical science. But honestly, how much is empirical science, how informed is empirical science? Because, there are things in this world that cannot be measured, that cannot be quantified. So science looks at quantifying something, at conducting logical experiments, but we know that the world is not made up of logic and common sense. There is so much in this world that is incomprehensible, right? Be it good or bad, it's incomprehensible to us. So this is actually something we need to acknowledge, that we don't know. There are things that we don't know, then there are things that we know we don't know, and then there are things that we have no idea that we don't know them. So I'm not going to argue with people who are, just pushing materialistic science and saying that, all this is just blind superstition, all this is just hogwash, it's nonsense. Like I said, if there is a particle, there is an anti-particle. So, what is masan? Masan and is firstly there's Masani Devi. And I'll get to Masani Devi, and Masani Devi's temple is in Gurgaon, like I said. And there are 360 Masanis. Actually, there are infinite Masanis. But to simplify things, we consider there 360 emanations of the goddess. Okay, she's often known as Mata Meldi or Mata Chowk Chodai Wali. Or in Bengal, she's known as Buro Ma. Like in the indigenous populations in Bengal, she's known as Buroma. She is the very same Masani Devi. She is the very same Shitala Devi. And who are these powers? They are none other than yoginis of Ma Smarshan Kali. So this is how the kriya is done in the smashan, and it is done to destroy lives, like I said, maran prayog. And it's not that only Mata Meldi is used only for dark magic, but sadly, like I said, that the propensity is towards darkness, the propensity is towards vashikaran, uchchatan, maran, self-actualization. No one's interested. Sell them a curse, charge $900. Yes, they'll go for it because they want to curse someone because they want what they have. Coveting, right? So this is something that I see that is happening now in the world. Now, how does it destroy lives? It destroys relationships. It causes divorce. It causes disease. It destroys one's spiritual potential. It destroys one's intellectual potential. It leads to mental diseases like bipolar, schizophrenia. Now, again, I'm not saying that every bipolar person has a masan done on them. I'm saying that out of 95%, 100% people who think that they have black magic on them, only 5% are correct that yes, there is indeed something extra. It's not just a chemical imbalance in the brain that can be corrected with a Prozac or a Xanax or a pill. It's not going to work. Or even if you dose up in such situations, and if you go for these chemical remedies instead of diagnosing your spiritual body, then only harm will befall you. For it is not a spiritual malady. Okay, the malaise is you will feel pain, you will feel upset, you will lose interest in puja, japas. All of this is an indication. But like I said, the correct individual, again, only a satwik magician will be able to help you. A satwik tantric will be able to help you. Never try to go to a black magician to counter black magic, because as I said, that if that black magician is is ready to harm somebody for you, then what stops them from harming you? So, and from day one, I have not been interested to delve into these topics, to talk about all these topics. I don't do this work. I don't do any kind of uchchatan, maran, vashikaran. I don't. But what I do is I do thought of these things, which is counteracting. Now somebody is giving you a problem, and I'm trying to solve that problem for you. Right? So I'm giving you the medicine to counter this. And that's why, because I see with the astrology that more and more people are not talking about black magic being done to them. So it was very important to come and address this whole topic and to tell you that maybe it's not black magic. Maybe it's like some people come and tell me that I started Ma Lakshmi Beach, imagine that, Om Shring, and now I'm having acidity. I mean, like, Om Shring is lunar beach. First is Ma Lakshmi and it's the Shorashi beach. It cannot give you pitta imbalance. In actuality, it will only correct your pitta imbalance and make you shital or snigdha, as in cool. So you have to understand that the mantras by themselves are not doing this to you. So it's literally a diet. It's literally a lack of exercise, right? That's happening. So again, all the people who think that oh now मेरे ऊपर कुछ किया कराया है कि मेरे ऊपर किसी ने जादू टोना किया है, तो मैं उनको बस यही बोलूँगी कि सब कुछ जादू टोना नहीं है, हर केस जादू टोना वाला नहीं है. तो you have to diagnose it correctly, and only an experienced Siddh Tantric will be able to diagnose that for you, and the diagnosis and after that the cut of this can only be done for you in a satwik way. If you try to counter poison with poison, you will only be swimming in poison. So this is something to think about, that when the people who sit in the smashan, the tantrics who do this kind of work, or the hoodoo practitioners, who call upon spirits and then they do dark spells, so the Romanian witches, like I said, all of this is masan vidya. All of this, any form of black magic in the world is masani vidya. And I have studied all these different systems. It is but masani vidya that has travelled again, as the good part of Sanatan Dharma has gone all over the world. The negative part of Sanatan Dharma, and it's not negative part of Sanatan Dharma, it's honestly what we do with it. Like Mata Melody is the greatest mother of all. But here we are trying to invoke Mata Melody for Vashikaran, Uchchatan, to harm someone. So then that speaks of us, our souls, our principles, our energy signature. We can't go around blaming that, oh, there are so many tantrics. Why are you going to do these tantrics? Why are you giving them fodder? Right? You're feeding them fodder. So stop it. And then you will see that there will be a transition. Why are there so many people on YouTube with huge amount of subscribers that are selling to you Vashikaran, Blackmagic, this, that and the other? Even in my small short videos that I make of say Vashikaran mantra, I always tell you that don't try this on anyone. Why would you want to control someone? Who knows what is there for you? Maybe someone much better. And if you really want to control someone and start a life with them, I mean, where does that leave you at the end of the day? Leave it all. Just do what you have to do. Be happy, be creative. So this is the key. And these people who do this kind of work, they oftentimes require clothes or hair or a pic, which is again so readily available, right? Because it's the time of social media. So everyone's pic is all out there. Name and any kind of personal object, even mud or dirt from their feet, right? Dirt from their feet. Even the horoscope or the kundali is used. That's why in India there is a pratha where we don't give out birth details to just about anybody. We don't. Even if we visit a tantric or we visit someone, we don't give our birth date unless, it's our guru or it's someone we know is of satwik temperament. Because the horoscope is actually a really powerful tool to bind someone, to do vashikaran, to do any kind of abhichar. What these are called? Abhichar prakriyas. All this abhichar prakriya can be done with the natal chart of someone. So you want someone to be possessed with you, or you want to, send the masan on someone, and the masan gives them bad dreams. Oftentimes you will see yourself naked in the dream, or humiliated and naked in the dream, or sometimes you will feel like you are performing sexual acts with strangers, or maybe an orgy. Now, of course, there are very many perverted people who anyway have a lot of perverted dreams, or maybe they're kingsters, and doesn't mean all of them have masan on them. But this particular kind of dream, it sucks you from your life force, because they're entering through the panchakoshas, they're piercing all the panchakoshas. Like I said, Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh, Anandamaya Kosh. So they are piercing the varn, or the arrow that is oftentimes sent, the varn. It's piercing through your panchakoshas. And if you're someone who does not do mantras, has no love or admiration for guru or kul devata, if you are a nefarious, insidious person, it's easy to crack through. Or if you already have a curse on you, or if you have say a guru chandal, and the guru chandal is active right now, and it is activating say your 8th house, your 12th house, or your maraksthana 2nd and 7th. So, or it is in some way tangling with your maraka lord, which is 2nd and 7th again, or there are many ways that the correct time is found by looking at your horoscope and by looking at the stars above, the transits. And then mostly this work is done on Diwali, Holi, or during a new moon. So the horoscope, that's why I don't go around revealing your date of birth on any public site, or don't go say, oh, my birthday is this and this. And a lot of people come here and comment on my videos that, hey, my birthday is this, I'm born here, my time is this, can you tell me? I'm not going to tell you anything, because you have to book a reading with me. But somebody else with a nefarious agenda may somehow discover that and may want a piece of you. Who knows? Maybe you're beautiful, or maybe you have something that they want. So again, use discretion. Don't reveal things about yourself. Don't if you're at an enemy's house, or maybe someone's really jealous of you, and don't give them anything personal, or don't eat in their house. In fact, you should not eat in just about anyone's house with the way the skies are. Do not eat anywhere. Try to make your own food and eat your own food, or let your wife or husband cook for you, because food is one of the main ways through which masan kriya is done. Now, who is doing it? Oftentimes people are like, who the hell is doing this, right? I have no enemies, I have no one, and yet I have all this bad luck and black magic is being done. Who is doing this? Now to this I'll tell you that sadly it is always someone close to you. And I'm not saying it's your husband or your wife, your mother-in-law, which is like the number one candidate, but it's someone close to you, someone who knows what you have, and someone who wants what you have, someone who knows your routine. And oftentimes the more powerful black magic curses, it's someone who's feeding you something. So you are consuming the curse literally. And many of you may have heard that the period blood or the menstrual blood is fed. Yes, there are kriyas where such things happen, but every time that a husband loves a wife, it is not that she's feeding him her menstrual blood. It's absolutely not done. I hear this a lot, like mother-in-laws telling me that, my God, my son is so taken in with her, she has done some kiya karaya with her menstrual blood. I mean, really, that's not. And I have to tell them, I said, nahi auntie, aap shayad se galat soch rahe hain. So we have to understand that everything is not kiya karaya, everything is not black magic, everything is not a curse, right? Some people are like, oh my God, I'm cursed, nothing goes well. Ugh, like Shrapit Yoga energy. But don't worry, that's just karma, sanchit karma, prarabt karma, your own decisions. It's mostly always you. But on the rare scenarios that someone is doing a masani or a black magic prayog on you, then it's worthwhile to know that yes, it exists, yes, it can be done, yes, it is not only done in India, because all forms of black magic, be it Arabi black magic, be it Romanian black magic, be it hoodoo, voodoo dolls, all of that has gone from India, from Tantra. All those systems. So be very clear about that. That can happen anywhere. It can happen to anyone with any system. So someone very close is doing it most of the times, is someone who wants your money. Number one motivation is money. Number two motivation is relationship. So say your husband was having an affair. Stop. Say your husband was having an affair, and then his girlfriend. I mean, then you confronted him, and he came to his senses, and then he went and told his girlfriend that, look, all of this is over now. I'm going back to my wife. We have children together. I have responsibilities. So he leaves her and he goes back to you, right? Everything sorted? Maybe not. Maybe the person, the woman who he was with, does a masan prayog on you because she wants to see you break up with your husband. It could be the opposite. If the man was already married, he wasn't happy in his marriage, and this is very common, both these cases. And money, of course, which I said is the number one motivator. Now, if the husband is already ready to leave his wife and he's got children with her, and now he's possibly got this other woman pregnant, and he's now going to her, and now the wife decides to put a masan on him. Both of these cases, as I said, in my 2.5 decades of working in this profession, I can tell you that both these cases are very common, and common in that 4% that actually has masan put. It's these reasons only. So it's always someone close to you. And if the person is, say you're with your girlfriend and you do love your wife and you love your children, and if your girlfriend starts a masani prayog on you, then it is a food, because she is the one feeding you, you're eating, you're spending time with her. So even sperm can be collected. Sperm can be collected, and in fact it is a very potent binding for the man. Okay, so she can have sex with you, and she can go into the bathroom and collect your semen, and then she can give it to the tantric. And the semen is actually a very powerful way to control a man. Like for a woman, it is the menstrual blood or breast milk. And for a lot of these prayogas, actually these things are used. Kind of like gross, I know, yuck. I would never be able to even look at, like, if a client got me a semen of some of her lover. I don't think I forget touching it and doing prayogas with it. I would vomit. But doesn't make me a prude, but yikes, bodily fluids, just yikes, gross. So I don't know who are these tantrics who do things like this, but there's a huge percentage of them. And they're operating right under our noses on YouTube. Black magic spell, black magicers, vashikaran, da-da-da-da-da. And they have millions of subscribers, believe me. And they get huge hits, huge hits. So you see that the person who's trying to counter all of this, no hits. But the person who's doing it is getting millions of hits. So this is again a sign of Kali Yuga. Like I said, people are not interested in Ganpati, people are interested in Apsara, Yakshini, Bhoot, Pret, Jinn. Just give them the macabre and they want macabre. Right? So there. Now the intensity is very, very high if it is someone close to you, like your mistress or your wife or your mother-in-law. Or your mother-in-law. Many times it is the mother-in-law. And it is because maybe my last case was the mother-in-law as well, and all because the woman had one daughter, and she did not want to have any other children because she's busy, she's a very successful woman, but excuse me, the mother-in-law wanted a male heir. So, once she realized that this girl was not going to be a reproductive machine because she's got her life, she's got her things. And then she started to put the masan on this woman. And this woman was like very accomplished woman, and then everything just started to fall apart. Not only that, her vision and her hair fall was massive, and also really bad smells like rotting carcass. And this woman was a vegetarian, so she doesn't even like, if you're a non-vegetarian person and you keep meat in the fridge, then you're like, you kind of know what rotting meat smells like, because you also go to buy meat, right? Or you may even stand at a slaughterhouse trying to, and there are like chickens or like goats screaming in the background, or cows. So then but this woman was pure satwik and, just vegetarian. And I mean, she was really not that much into dairy as well. But for her, she was getting like the smell of a slaughterhouse, like that, and not even like fresh meat, but like gross, rotting meat. And she had all these different kinds of pains that were just shooting through her whole body. And she went to the top doctors in Bombay, and she went to the Hinduja, she went to like some real big people, and each time her condition was undiagnosed, like they found nothing wrong with her. So then they started to suggest a psychiatrist, and she did therapy as well because she was having these ghoulish nightmares and sleep paralysis. So this sleep paralysis is a huge attack form. And if you ask me the truth, sleep paralysis has gone up in people. So many of my students tell me that, Ma, suddenly I'm experiencing sleep paralysis. And this happens most on a new moon or a full moon, less on a full moon, but new moon. My God, lot of psychic attacks are happening. So, as I said, for this woman, she was becoming thin, emaciated, enervated, no energy. Okay, and she was not even staying hydrated. So obviously she was feeling dehydrated, all woozy, head doozy, was not eating correctly because she could smell meat and everything, even if it was a idli dosa, right, or a khichdi. And she became really weak, really, really weak. And this has been happening for a while, this thing with her for a couple of years. And she told me that she was not someone who would just get angry or, scream or shout or have violent outbursts. She wasn't the kind of woman to do that. But recently, and this whole attack got escalated the last 6 months. So she was telling me that she was getting into these violent moods, and she didn't know what happened. And they did all kinds of MRIs, and she went to a shrink as well. Again, the shrink was unsuccessful because it is not the job of the shrink to do this. It is not the job of your medical doctor. You need a spiritual doctor. You need a spiritual surgeon for this, right? And you know why all of this is coming out now? Because Shani isn't Satavisha. What is Satavisha? 100 healers. So Shani is going to break out a lot of this kind of, and Don't forget that black magicians are using Shani Devata's power, because Smashan Kali is his mom. So he's using Shani Devata's own power to do all this wreaking havoc on people and doing black magic. But Shani in Satavisha is not gonna forgive. Like I have told my students that when Shani came into Makar Rashi, if you were wrong in your life, please correct yourself, because Shani is gonna allow you to correct yourself then. But once he moves into Aquarius, Kumbh Rashi, and in his Mutrikon sign, it's like kind of like his office. And he wants things to be optimized now. Boom, he's gonna optimize it. So if you are there creating all this bad karma somehow, it's Shani's not gonna forgive. So all this black magic, evil eye, curses, all of this is gonna explode on the spiritual scene, and we will see all these parasitical entities trying to infest, and then white magicians driving them out. And recently, you won't believe what I heard, that there was a viral video, right, that during Ramadan or during some kind of big festival, that from Mecca, Kaaba, insects, okay, suddenly there came rain, and then like thousands of insects, black insects, started crawling out somewhere near the Kaaba, near the black stone. And I mean, there was a viral video, and it was crazy. So these, poisonous insects, Rahu signifies, and Saturn is black, and we've got Saturn aspecting Rahu, forming this Shrapit Yoga and this very diabolical third aspect. So, Shani is going to bring all of this out, and Rahu, again, powerful for curses. So, Rahu, if ill placed in the chart during a Rahu Mahadasha, Antardasha, complications can be seen. If somebody is doing something, it will sit. It will, give you very bad results. So, and this woman also suddenly started telling me that she had like little lumps, just like lumps pop up, the back of the spine, and I mean her treatment is still ongoing, but that bad smell has gone. She started Hatha Yoga. She's seeing less of those, really destructive dreams. And you wake up and like what the hell? What kind of rabbit hole did I fall through there? So things are getting a lot better with her. And even though with her husband, right? She was with her husband, and it's definitely not the husband, it's the mother-in-law. And the husband, who loves her very much, started to just tune off and became estranged. So again, this was a very, very big sign that the work was taking shape, that the husband was now, that was his support system. So now he was moving away, and she felt very, very lonely. And she said that the depths of depravity, the depraved thoughts that would come to me when I was lonely was astounding. And she's busy, she didn't have time for all of this before. She said that this kind of stopped me, right, just stopped me in my tracks, like stop. And bad temper, like I said, she wasn't a woman with bad temper, and this is not just her, this is with all the cases. Random diseases, headaches, really hot body, head feels like it's about to explode, very bad odor in the mouth and the body, and heaviness in the body, random puking, inability to keep something in your stomach. And like I said, that these are called miyad, okay, or barn. And the barn, it is often taken, the tantric will take a few days, like it can be 4 days, it can be like 7 days, or that fortnight between the new moon and the full moon, and the Maran Prayog is done. And this can result in massive losses if it is done correctly. She'll drop the light, please, she'll drop the light. Okay, so that's something to think of, and it can also be one night, and then after that, you can lose everything. Okay, and there is just go into the room, please. And there is a need to diagnose this. Like I said, that even if you feel, if you're listening to this and you feel at some point, people who are listening, people who will listen, and you feel like, oh my God, this happened, this is happening to me. It's not necessary that a masani was put on you. It could very well be a medical condition or a psychological condition, or just, inability to produce the correct chemicals in the brain. So then diagnosis is very, very important, okay? Is it illness? Is it a medical condition? Is it a psychological condition? Is it really black magic or masani? So this has to be done. And this, if you feel like after, putting the theory to test that, black magic is happening to you, and you come to the conclusion that yes, it is, then you cannot do this by yourself. The cut cannot happen from you. So it has to be someone who is experienced in this, someone who is Bhairav Siddh. Because masani chowkis can only be removed by Bhairav and mahakali, Smashan Kali herself. Now, what all happens to people when they get the evil eye also? So it's, go in please. Hello, go into the room. Close the door. So what happens is that it could be the jadoo or tona or totka or hawa, pret, bhoot, because when someone puts masani vidya on you, then with the masani mata, lot of prets, bhoots, jinns also travel with her. So, anxiety is one thing. Massive anxiety, excessive perspiration, especially if suddenly, you tell them to do a mantra, or you give them a rudraksh. Then, or if you tell them, hey, light the lamp in my puja place, and they start tatting or abusing. Or, anytime with your puja things, if you tend to see that someone in the family is behaving badly or behaving rudely, who would do that, right? Most people don't want to mess around with spiritual energies, but in spite of that, if someone is doing that, then they're obviously under some kind of insidious influence. And especially if you give them vibhuti or prasad, and the way they will react is how the diagnosis can be made. It's not always easy to feed someone vibhuti. A lot of the clients come from overseas. So in that case, full meditation of the panchakoshas, the tantric has to enter the panchakoshas, and only through that energy clearance can happen. So there, and the thing with black magic and curses is whole families are ruined. Whole families, and kids can also become possessed. Children, can you believe it? Because they are very, very open. Their aura is very open. Up until a few years, your sahasrara is absolutely linking with the divine energies. So, it's open, the sahasrara, so it's very easy to penetrate them. Now, all smashan vidya comes from the smashan or the crematorium. Now, you will see that in many hoodoo rituals, they keep bones and skulls and all that. What is that but smashan? All of those are again ogre prakriyas. that have gone, like Sanatan Dharma has traveled with many different, names and faces. Same, this a lot of this Masani Vidya and Ogre Prakriyas have gone all over, and they are being called by different names. It is one and the same. So, and it's sad to know that there are people in the world who claim to be spiritual and they are actually ready to take money to hurt someone else, a random person that they don't know, just because a client is willing to give them money. So, that in itself is also a harbinger of Kali Yuga and shows us that, how are these people spiritual, right? And what are they doing? Why are they doing this? So, this Kriya has been adopted in Vika as well, in Islami Tantra as well. Like I said, Arabi Tantra. They have massive Arabi Tantra in all over the Middle East. Just recently, someone was telling me that, hey, you should advertise yourself in the Middle East as someone who does Vashikaran. Like, will you help, like some powerful UAE person get a land that doesn't belong to them? Money, if you're good at your job, if you can really get the job done, then money will never be a problem. And then I thought to myself that imagine there are other people who would possibly jump at an opportunity like that. Be like, yeah, but I'm not motivated by the money. So, no. It's sad that there are actually people like this who are sending such energy, and this energy cannot be cut by some black magician. This energy can only be counteracted by a white magician. So this is something to think of. People with Pitri dosh can become easy targets. People who have Kul Devata dosh. Now, another thing that I have been doing for my students is that many people don't know their Kul Devata. Obviously, say if you're an American man or a woman and you were Christian and you don't know your Kul Devata, then what are you supposed to do? Who is your Kul Devata? In that case, you are to consider Rishi Shandilya as your Rishi of your Gotra, and Shandilya Gotra as your Gotra, and then Mahalakshmi becomes your Kuldevi. Say you're Christian or you're Muslim or you're from any other, or you don't know your Kuldev, or you don't even know your Gotra. So then Rishi Shandilya had taken an oath to help everyone out who has no Gotra, who has no patron Rishi. So in that case, if you don't know your Gotra, you will take Shandilya Gotra. And Shandilya Gotra's Kuladevi is Lakshmi. So in that case, for people like that, Lakshmi will become your Kul Devata or your Kul Devi. So Kul Devata, Kul Devi, Pitri Dosh people and Pitri Tarpan, and people who don't do Pitri Puja, Pitri Tarpan, you're not doing the right thing. At least feed a bunch of crows every day. They will take the food to your Pitris. They will take your offerings to the Pitris. Do not ignore your ancestors. And if you are called towards Hindu Dharma and yet you don't have a Gotra, consider yourself Shandilya Gotra. Now, so who becomes a masan? Okay, masans are two types. One is Pakka masan, one is Kacha masan. Now, what is Pakka masan? I'll tell you, but what is Kacha masan? Kacha masan is when a child dies and they don't burn the child, but they bury the child, or they, immerse the child in a river. That is when the child becomes a masan. And that child can trouble people. Like, we see oftentimes in Hollywood movies the trope that children get possessed, or children children can be scary, right, or can instill fear in us. because we've seen Pet Cemetery, and that's masan, or Pet Cemetery is masan. If you look into horror, you will be able to identify masan. So those are known as kacha masans. Okay, so kids also abortion, and if the baby has come to term and feticide, like we've had so many female feticides in India. People were getting a sonography done, and this was happening mostly in Rajasthan and Haryana and all that. And people were doing a sonography, they realized that it's a girl in the womb, and boom, they go to some kind of shady hack job doctor, and the doctor does a feticide. And then complete disregard of the remains of their child, and it's oftentimes left in a garbage bin, or oftentimes just thrown in some river. What do you think happens to the soul of such children? They become masan, they become kacha masan. Okay, and now a kacha masan cannot play havoc with your life if you're a spiritual person, and they can never mess around with tantrics, because tantrics, they can come near. Sometimes when you're doing vir sadhanas, then the kacha masans can come near you. They can play with you. That's why in certain sadhanas, even lona chamari sadhana, a lot of masans can come and mess around, kacha masans. Okay, that's why the lona chamari sadhana, you have to have a suraksha gera, you have to have a deha suraksha mantra or kavach given by guru. So when you take the iron knife and you do a suraksha ghera, and then the masans, they play around, the kacha masans, and they do all kinds of naughty things. But you need not fear. If you are siddh in any mantra, or any devata has, forget savari on you, but even if any devata has done kripa on you, then you don't need to fear from kacha masan. But pakka masans are completely different. Okay, and who is a Pakka masan? Now, there are 80 known Pakka masans, and all these are aghoreshwaras or ogres, who are, that once a Siddh Purush dies, they don't burn the Siddh Purush. They bury the Siddh Purush, or they immerse him in the Ganges. And oftentimes, ogres become masans. So, they are pakka masans. And when you talk about masan jagran or any masani kriya, then you're talking about these pakka masans. And one day, maybe if this video has if you guys are interested in the subject, I'll speak to you about the 80 pakka masans, and they're all ogoreshwaras, all ogres who have become masans. There are millions of masans, kacha and pakka together. But there are some very powerful sadhus and ogres, aghoris, as some people may know them, that become pakka masan. Now, so the key to this is people who are not burnt, they can become masans. So people who are cremated and or left in a river, immersed in a river, the child death like SIDS, okay, and all those kind of children, if proper antim kriya is not done, then yeah. Now these 80 pakka masans, these ogres, you can call upon them, and they live in different places. There's the masans in Kashi, near the Kashi Vishwanath temple. There are ogres in other ogre masans in other Shakti Peeths and stuff like that. Okay, they are there, and they are very powerful beings. Very powerful beings. And what happens is that when a sadhu, right, and he came in a human yoni or a manushya yoni, and then they die, and then they go into a pret yoni. And once they go into a pret yoni, then they become very angry. So a lot of these ogres who people are summoning to get their job done and all that, anger, they're very angry. And people who do masan sadhana, they say that these Pakka masans are like 40 feet ethereal beings, of course, and they can also solidify, like become solid and come in front of you. And they are young, they're always naked, nude, and they carry a club with them. Okay, and now the thing is that it's best never to do masan sadhana. Never to do masan sadhana. For a grihasti, if you are interested in things like this, I'll tell you, take a U-turn and exit. Do not get into this. Okay, I for one, I have only gotten into this is to look for a cure, is to find a way to appease the masans. And the masans can only be stopped by Bhairav Baba. Even Masani Mata and her 360 Masanis can only be stopped by Bhairav Chowki or by Smashan Kali Kriya and Chowki. All right. That's why I told you that Baba Bhairav mantra, काल भैरव कपिला जड़ भैरव चौखट स्थान में भोजन कर, राजा राज करी काल भैरव बता तेरा रूप, तेरे को दिखाऊंगी मैं गूगल की धूप, जात जोड़ी जहाँ भेजे वहाँ जाना, बंध माँ की 72 कोठरी में घुस जाना, जंजीर वाले की जंजीर खोलना, भूत पलित का चौका उखाड़ना, चुड़ैल दासी न माते की चौकी उखाड़ना, बड़े बड़े देवी देवताओं की चौकी उखाड़ना, ताल भी मेरे घर फेंक देना, जो ना फेंक दे तो सक्की माँ के घाट पर जाएगा, गुरु की शपथ मेरी भगत, पुरो मंत्रो ईश्वर उवाचा. So this is the most powerful mantra to counteract masani, but don't try this alone. This is Shabad mantra and is only Guru Mukhi. You cannot do this. Or even the other one that I taught you guys, I mean I made a video on it, Ulti Khopdi Madgat Masan, Bante Baba Bhairav Ki Aan. This one is the most powerful Suraksha mantra, Deha Suraksha mantra. Ulti Khopdi Madgat Masan, Bante Baba Bhairav Ki Aan. So when you're doing also sadhana in the crematoriums, you have to do Deha Suraksha, you have to do Suraksha Gera. Otherwise you cannot do all of this work. Now, when ogres become pret, right, when they become pret, or even before ogres became pret, the thing is they do Vetal Gyan or Pret Gyan, they know Vetal Vidya and Pret Vidya. So they take a ton of these spirits that are maybe malevolent, maybe, you know, dark or whatever, dismal spirits, and they bind them to a certain place. It is said that Paramhamsa Vishuddhananda had his kapal, right, had his kapal, and in that he used to keep some dangerous spirits and he had to offer them alcohol. Because those spirits were so dang dangerous that Baba Paramhamsa Vishuddhananda had caught them in the kapal and had kept them in the kapal. So oftentimes ogres do that. If I am out there, if I am trying to heal someone, then I come across this dangerous entity, then must be bound, and this binding can only come through Bhairav Baba or Smashan Kali. Alright, so the basic thing is don't mess with all of this. Like I told you that this is truly Kali Yuga. People are less interested in Lalita Tripura Sundari or Ganpati. They want Pret Sadhana, they want Vetal Gyan, they want Apsara, they want Yakshani, but they don't want to do anything for self-actualization. If it's a thrill, if it's some kind of an adventure, then they're up for it. So, best not to mess around, okay? And even if you do come across a masan, highly unlikely you will, please be respectful. Now, oftentimes the tantrics will offer them 2 eggs, okay, booze, a bottle of booze, and 2 laddus. But of course, I mean, it's very cheap offering, and many Pakka masans don't like want to be cheap. So they want, like, say you want a big job. You want a big job. There's somebody who's got like 400 crores and he's just an old man and he needs to be taken out. In that case, sacrifice has to be made. And again, there's a big ritual for sacrifice. So you have to do, you have to give big bhog. Okay, that means pig. Okay, sacrifice of pig, sacrifice of chickens, sacrifice of pigeons, sacrifice of birds. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Okay, just yuck. Sometimes it's to sacrifice of bull. Oh my god, yikes. So, especially this sacrifice is done with Maran Prayog if you want to kill someone, and this is called Masan joke or Masani joke, right? And this is dangerous. And like I said, that Masans are not constricted by geography. So Masans can be sent on anyone, anywhere. A dark magician from any cremation ground can send a Masan to Singapore, US, China. Okay, so this. And the other thing is that they astral travel, Masans. And hey, no. And the thing is that they are higher than jinns. So, like jinns also live alone. So Masanis also live alone. They don't like live in a big community or anything. Now I'm going to come to, oh my god, this is a huge video again. Now I'm going to come to Masani Devi. Who is Masani Devi? Okay. Now Masani Devi is again a yogini of Smashan Kali. She's not good or bad. She's a mother, so she's obviously good. But she gives a lot of power. Okay. Mata Meldi also. Mata Meldi is, in Chhattisgarh, Mata Meldi is famous. Or in Rad Bangla, she is known as Budoma. Masani Mata is Budoma. And I have actually been involved in some of the local Aboriginal people and their rituals, and that's when my interest grew deep into folk goddesses. I come from a traditional Bengali Brahminical family, and we don't know, we were not taught about the folk goddesses like Mata Meldi, Mata Masani, Mata Manasa. Again, Mata Manasa is very close to Mata Masani. So a lot of black magic in Bengal side and Rad Bengal side is done with Mata Monusha, the serpent goddess. So I was deeply interested in all this, the system of Ojha or Pilya Jharana, right? Or Ojha ways of healing. Very, very. I had shot a documentary, and it was a heck of an experience in going through Rad Bengal and Sundarban, and really living with the local people and understanding the folk culture, and it was stupendous actually. And given the opportunity, I would like to do that again. I have so many plans, honestly. So these are folk goddesses, Masani, folk goddesses, and like I was telling you about Meldi Mata in Chhattisgarh. Meldi Mata is also Masani. So Masani Mata is a Devi, and now you can take her energy just like with Smashan Kali, and you can use it for good and bad, or say Hecate. People who do black magic, dark Wicca magic, Wicca rituals, they use Hecate to do bad. Does that mean Hecate is bad? No. And the sad part is that most people are doing black magic with these powerful folk goddesses. They're doing black magic, Maran, Uchchatan, Vidveshan, Vashikaran. Like, honestly, what a time waste for everybody concerned. So, mostly Maran Prayog is done. Even in Gurgaon, you'll see people giving bakris and, like little calves and little piglets, and they sacrifice them there. Yikes. Honestly, yikes. All these people, you're sacrificing an animal for your own selfish odds and ends. You will be sacrificed too. So, when I hear things like that, I don't even want to live anymore. I'm like, I don't know why I am alive. Maybe because to find a counter for all of this. But, I mean, it's just fucking gross. Okay? So, there are 360 Masani Devis, Masani Vidyas that are aligned to Masani Mata, Mata Meldi, Mata Shitala. Mata Shitala is the main Shitala. And what is Masan? Masan is awakening dead people. And why would you go around doing that to people who have died, and they are buried or they are immersed in a river, and bam, you are there trying to resurrect them. And this is what is known as necromancy. Aleister Crowley and necromancy and all of this, it's all gone from Masani Vidya. Like I told you, hoodoo, spirit resurrections, all kinds of this corpse resurrection, Frankenstein, all of this has come from this Masani Vidya. It's resurrecting, and Khopri, I mean, like the head, the skull of the corpse is going to talk. That is the ultimate Masani awakening. So you will see that a lot of black magician tantrics, they speak to the skull. Like I told you, Meldi Mata is the energy that they are using mostly. Shitla Mata, Meldi Mata, Chok Chodai Wali Mata, Mata Masani. They're using these very powerful feminine yogini energies. All these are yogini energies. The energies of Smarshan Kali. Simple. Now, what happens is that these tantrics are doing it, incurring very, very bad karma. Let's not forget that. Now, sleep paralysis. If you experience sleep paralysis, or men, if you experience sexual dreams, or women also sexual dreams, but in a weird way, it's not like whoa, like in the films that you see these erotic dreams. So like weird, all right, like you wake up feeling yikes. So maybe it's time to get yourself checked. Also with the Masan Prayogas, ultimately paralysis happens, okay, and random undiagnosed pain, sudden death, of course, and women are very, very open to psychic attacks. Women are very open to Shakti energy. That's why when a woman does sadhana, she tends to get siddhi. If she is very good at what she does, she tends to get siddhi way quicker than a man. Of the same, say there's a man and there's a woman, and they're equally dedicated, equally powerful, equally devoted to their ishta. A woman will always achieve siddhi quicker. And same way, because she's Shakti, so she's doing Shakti Upasana, she's through her vagina, through her womb, she's awakening the energy. And the same thing goes for negative energies like Masanis. Masanis can attack women very easily, especially if she's not spiritual, and if she doesn't have a powerful ghera, or she doesn't have a Guru Kripa, then she's very easy to penetrate. Like I told you, that if you think that by going to a website and doing a course over there, see, either be it with Ravi Shankar, Sri Ravi Shankar, or with Sadguru or someone like that, and you think you have a guru, then you are sadly mistaken. A guru-shishya relationship is based on intimacy. It is, your guru is possibly the most intimate relationship you will ever know. So if your guru does not love you, does not think about you, does not wish you well, does not cry in your pain, is not involved with you, then they are not your guru. So when your guru loves you, your guru creates a protection shield around you with their love. That's why Guru thro hartayacha na datavyam, na datavyam, na datavyam kadachana. In Uchishta Ganapati Kavach it is said, Guru Bhaktaya Datavyam Satchishyaya Visheshatah Tesham Siddhyanti Shigrena Yanyatha Nacha Siddhyati. So, anybody who does Guru Droh, why is it such a bad thing? Because Guru creates with their love, with their tapas, they create a protection shield around you. And they have only your best, your, they want only the best for you. So don't do Guru Droha ever. It's the worst path you can do. As I was saying that children also can be easy targets for masanis, elderly people. Dreams, naked, you naked, other people naked, orgies, women naked, running, falling in holes, very bad smell from the body, from the mouth, home, office, red dots on the skin, callous behavior. They don't laugh, they don't cry, vacuous look in their eyes. Okay? And they're possibly very interactive, but now they've just become vacuous. Something's up. Some kind of prayog or kya karaya has happened to them. Epilepsy also. Of course, there's the medical epilepsy, but there is the spiritual epilepsy, which is brought on by masani infestation. Period color for women. Alright, a weird kind of things coming out. And I don't mean discharge. I'm like really weird, fleshy things coming out. I don't mean blood clots. Okay, from the period, from the menstrual cycle. And for most women, it is either the mother-in-law or the husband's girlfriend or the husband's ex-wife. Sad but true. And another thing is people who, when the masani prayoga starts on them, they can have massive carnal desires. Like, you suddenly your husband is like all the time wanting to have sex with you, and he does it in like a really, exploitative way. Your face doesn't matter, nothing matters, it's just in and out, and it's his pleasure. And he wasn't like that. This is a key sign. Okay, avariciousness, greed, tremendous greed, avaricious, like more. Now, if you want to test whether you are being afflicted by masani curses, then take a black cloth and take about 50 grams or 100 grams of rye or black mustard seeds, tie it with a black cloth, and tell Baba Bhairav that, Baba Bhairav, please tell me the truth, and hang this outside your house, your front gate. And then in 3 days, you have to burn it. And when you burn it, the way it burns and the odor and all of that will tell you whether you have masana or not. Again, not advisable to do this on your own, of course. You can contact me on my mobile number. It's 7030258060, and +91 is the prefix India code. So there. And but when you're doing this prayoga, Saturday or Thursday has to be the 4th day on which you burn everything. So keep that in mind. Now we've got Mata Melody, and I'll be telling you about Mata Melody one day. Have satwik feelings in your heart for Mata Melody and call her. Say, Mata Melody, if you feel like masani prayoga has happened, say, Mata Melody, please help me, save me, and she will. Okay. Now also animals, if you have domestic animals and they die suddenly out of the blue, freak accidents, all this, someone who is afflicted with masani vidya or masani prayogas, they will not be able to do any mangal karya. Auspicious work will stop in their house. They won't be able to do puja. If they plan for it, something will go wrong. They'll be called out. They'll get angry. Everything will smell bad. They'll drop the kalash full of water. Okay, just dank, the whole energy will be dank. Also they make a sankalp, okay, say 41 days I'm going to do Bhairav sadhana. They'll never be able to keep it. During japa they'll smell bad, they'll see bad visions, carnal visions, mind will be upset, sleep paralysis will occur, especially if they're trying to do sadhana. At that time suddenly somebody can call your name, and if you feel like your husband or your mother or your father, don't answer after 11 in the night to 4 in the morning. After that brahma muhurta starts, so you're pretty safe. And the person who will call out to you will be like a family member. Also, if the bell rings in the night, do not open the door after 11:30, 12. No. If it's your friend, let them call you. Now you have a mobile or you have social media. They can always say, hey dude, I'm outside your house, open the, or hey babe, I'm outside your house, open your door. But do not open the door, especially this whole year with the way the astrology is shaping up. Okay, Shadashtak Jog with Neechbhang Mangal. Okay, Shrapit, Guru Chandal, whoa, deadly. Do not open that door in the night till Brahma Muhurta. Unable to grow tulsi plant or hibiscus or any kind of sacred plants you're unable to grow. Okay, this is again another sign. And she is the main Masani Mata is Mata Madanan, and she is none other than Ma Shitala. Her yogini is Mata Masani. Although they are primarily one energy that gets subdivided, and they all work under Mata Smashan Kali. They have all emanated from Mata Smashan Kali. And Shitala Mata has many temples. Even in Calcutta, I remember my grandfather used to take me to a Shitala temple. She is a yogini, Shitala Mata. And Shitala Mata sadhana is also very powerful, especially during times like coronavirus. I have given a lot of people Shitala Mata sadhana during coronavirus, and I've done myself as well. Now, key to this is Kuladevi, Kuladevata must be propitiated, and only Bhairav can break Masani chowki, and Bhairav will only appeal to his mother, Smashan Kali. Alright, now remember that Masan and Masani, they drink blood, so you can become very anemic. So no matter even if you have like 2 pomegranates a day, eyes will be bloodshot red. And she is only known as Chowk Chodai ki Mata, Chowk Chodai Mai, Mata Madanan. Okay, Mata Shitala. She is only Mata Shitala. And I told you, they sacrifice bakras, and I mean like calves and piglets. And also in some very dark prayogas, young girls are sacrificed to Mata Masani. Young girls are sacrificed, and that is horrible. They possibly find these girls on the roadside or rape poor girls, and their families sell them. And you've heard of all this Pipergate, and it's Pipergate, right? And all this pedophilia, and the Mother of Darkness castle, and that you've heard that in like rituals they kill children and they drink their blood and all of that, right? So all of this is again Masani Prayog. They are calling upon Mata Madanan and offering young girls. So this Jeffrey Epstein and all of this, there's some kind of dark occult magic happening there as well. Now, most mother-in-laws will do Kok Bandhan. That is that if you are a woman and you cannot keep your baby and you're constantly having miscarriages, then time to look at it. You can have yantras that, protect your womb. Bhoot, Pret, Betals, Jinns all travel with Masani. So if they have put a curse on you, if somebody's put a curse on you, then it's very possible that other entities can also start messing around. So it's very, very worthwhile to protect yourself. And the thought of this is only Bhairav Baba Upasana. So I have a Bhairav kit that I give 3 yantras, 1 Rakshamala, 1 Japamala and 1 Bhairav Gutika. So if you wear the Gutika, it'll be energized in your name, and if you wear the Rakshamala, which is the black Rudraksh, then you will be protected. Rakshamala means protection mala. So it was nice talking to you. Thank you. Consider becoming a member of the channel. It really, really helps. And it's quite a dark topic, and we went to some really dark places. But I can't say I hope you enjoyed the video, because yikes, I mean. But it was informative, right? And that's all I can hope for with a topic like this. But thank you very much, and speak soon.